woke up breathing this morning. It hurts, but still at least there's pain. My feet were flying off the pavement. I turned down Fillmore Street.
Hello!
again.
Welcome to the AIPMM webinar series. This is Cindy Faye Solomon, delighted to be a moderator today with Chad McAllister on hacking innovation, what innovatives really do. I'm Cindy Faye Solomon. You know me, I'm the host of the Global Product Management Talk, and delighted to tell you about the AIPMM, the Association of International Product Marketing and Management, available on the web at www.aipmm.com and on Twitter at AIPMM. If you're tweeting today during the webinar, please use the hashtags #AIPMM and follow the speaker, Chad McAllister, who is at Chad McAllister. You can follow me at Cindy F. Solomon, and definitely follow AIPMM. The standard hashtag for product management events is #PRODMGMT. Product marketing events, #PRODMRKTG. And today we're talking about innovation, #INNOVAT. That gives people on Twitter an opportunity to search for the subject matter that we're discussing. So I'm Cindy Faye Solomon. I am a certified product manager and certified product marketing manager. You can find me at startupproduct.com. I'm delighted to introduce Chad McAllister. He is an innovation hacker. Amongst other things, he is a PhD. You can reach him at theeverydayinnovator.com. He's on LinkedIn. Search for Chad McAllister. He provides the Certified Innovation Leader Training. You can find out more about it at Product Innovation Educators. And his blog, where he's been reporting on his experience this past year, is at theeverydayinnovator.com. So stay on to the end. Chad's going to give us a very interesting and exciting presentation, followed by a Q&A. And everyone who participates in the questions and answers will be entered into a raffle. There's a lot of things to win today. One is a guide to the product management and marketing body of knowledge. I believe that is the physical textbook of everything, the foundation of the product management and marketing body of knowledge. It's a 300-page textbook. Then, Chad is generously giving away 3 online preparation courses for the AIPMM Certified Innovation Leader course, which I have taken. It is excellent. It's valued at $845, so you'll be entered into a raffle to win one of those for free. So the fine print says, however, in order to get the Certified Innovation Leader certification, you'll have to sit for the test, and there's additional fees required. But everyone receives a product innovation ebook from Chad. Thanks so much. And the information to get that will be at the end. So Chad, take it away, and please do introduce yourself and your many pages of credentials.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I am traveling on the road across the country by RV, interviewing innovators, and we'll talk about that today. And consequently, sometimes have communication challenges also. So how's the audio? Let's check that.
It's okay. We can hear you. We definitely know you're on the road.
So we'll make this work. I appreciate everyone being here today, and let's just dive in and talk about what's going on. So started this RV trip last summer, something that I wanted to do with the family, frankly, to build experiences with the kids. But another thing I've been wanting to accomplish for some time is I've been involved in product development my entire career. I am always learning and wanting to learn what people are actually doing. I thought, what better way to do this than to go travel around and talk to people involved in innovation, right? People that are developing products, and also a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs along the way. So, I get asked why do this? It is a bit of an itch to scratch, wanting to travel and talk with these people to get different perspectives. A lot of my time in the last few years has been working with larger organizations and helping them with product development and management practices, product innovation. And this was an opportunity to talk with some companies that were also in that context, but also in different ones. Kind of looking at that intersection between entrepreneurs and startups and small business owners all the way up to large organizations. And what are they really doing? And then most importantly, I'm doing this because I want to share the insights, find out what's working for people, what's important to them, and then be able to share that with others. And this is the first time I've done that so far. I have a blog where I write about some things, but just delighted to be doing the webinar with AIPMM today, and so thankful for Cindy to hosting. Always fun to be working with Cindy, and we'll share about that some. To more fully answer why I'm doing this, let me just tell you my story real quick, and this will make more sense, I think. I started out in electrical engineering in college and joined this great little engineering company. I was the fourth employee in the office, and 6 months after I got there, we turned into a software development company. And that was not my strength, I have to say. But I was good at working with the customers and actually really enjoyed that, understanding what the customers wanted and what we needed to do to meet their expectations, and then lead the software development teams to make that happen. And so I just naturally grew into project management roles, and over time, the bigger role of product management. And what was driving me along this way was not any notion of being successful. It was really fear. What was driving me was the fear of missing the expectations of my customers. I really felt that. I did not want to let the customers down, and I wanted to satisfy them. So the way that I dealt with that fear was I was learning all the time. So, project management, I learned from PMI how to be a better project manager and got certified along the way. And then when it came to product management, got involved with PDMA and got their certification, and then with AIPMM and one of their certifications, and just always learning so I can do a better job meeting our customers' expectations. And I got so fascinated with that problem, how can we really do this, I actually went back to school for a bit and did the PhD work to do that deep dive into how do we understand customers' expectations. And then in 2008, 9 kind of time, I had some self-reflection going on, what I really want to be when I grow up, midlife here, and decided that being an educator fits me really well. And at that point, I started teaching some university courses, which I still do, but primarily my primary job is I form product innovation educators, and I have the pleasure of helping people that are moving into product roles learn about new product development and about product innovation, and helping organizations build that culture of innovation. So that's kind of the why I'm doing this, is just to learn more, learn what's really going on with innovators. When I talk to people about this trip I'm on, usually most of the questions have to do with the RV aspect and not actually interviewing innovators. So let's just hit some real frequently asked questions quickly on the RV part. So where we've been, started in Colorado, that's home, went east first to the East Coast, came back to the middle of the U.S., and now we're doing the West Coast. So be hanging out in the Bay Area here in just a little bit. Favorite place, there's been lots of them. Frankly, it's anywhere I get to spend some time with my family. And most recently, that was a campfire on the beach with my kids and my wife. That was just great. Our RV is a Winnebago Adventurer. And do we still like each other? We've been living in 300 square feet for several months now. And yeah, thankfully we still like each other. So that part is good. If you have any other questions about the RV trip, I'll share my email again later. Be glad to connect with you and talk about the RV aspect. Had a poll question wanted to ask. And Cindy, I don't know if we have the poll questions right.
Yeah, so I couldn't get those poll questions inside the system, but I have sent the poll through the chat. So if people open their chat, I've sent you the questions, and please give us answers inside the Q&A. So the question is, would you want to take a year RV trip with your family? And the answers are 1, yes, 2, no, 3, never thought about it, and 4, not even if you paid me. So far we have 1 for yes. Okay, let's see. I'd have to quickly do my stats as the as the answers are coming in. I'll just read them to you. So, 3 for yes, 1 for not even if you paid me. Great participation here. 4, 5, 6, 7. Lots more yeses than anything else. I can tell you on the fly. And
Yeah, that gives us a good picture. If you get some, not even if you paid me, let us know.
Only one of those.
It was funny as I was getting ready to do this, one of my friends said, "Why would you want to do that? I don't like my family that much. I don't want to spend that much time with them."
Well, you have to say you have a great family, right? And your kids are young enough that they're still agreeable.
Some days, yes. So it has been a good experience. Like all of life, it has its ups and downs, but it's been really good. Like I said, glad to talk about the RV aspect more for anyone who's interested.
Yeah,
Let's
and
talk about the actual.
I just want to give a shout out to the participants who are quite active and gave us some great responses here. So thanks.
Awesome. Thank you very much. So I've been doing the interviews. I'm shaping those around these questions, and I won't dive into details on this. So basically, when I'm talking to people, so these are often business owners or product professionals, whether it's a small business or an executive over a product innovation, product development kind of function, trying to get them to share an example of innovation in their company, right, and kind of what that means to them, what makes that a good example of innovation, what are the characteristics of the people involved in that. Just get them talking about innovation and how they think about that. And as you would expect, when we say innovation and we're talking about that over, the cocktail party or something, innovation has lots of different contexts to different people. So I always need to set the stage a little bit about how I approach innovation and what I mean by that. And I look at it in this simple model of these kind of 3 big blocks. Really, how do we go about taking ideas and turning it into a product that we can market in exchange for something, typically in exchange for money, right? We're selling something and providing value then to the customers. And these 3 blocks are the managed front end. This is kind of where we come up with the ideas in the first place. A lot of times you hear this talked about as the fuzzy front end, but there's really repeatable things that we can do here. And it is more managed and more fuzzy, so I don't like this term better. And the new product development process is once we have a good idea that we want to turn into a real product and give that life and get it out to the market, that's what we do in new product development. And then when that product is actually in the market and it goes through its life, customers start buying it, hopefully a lot more buy it, it levels off as competitors enter the marketplace. That's the product life cycle. So I kind of set the stage of what I mean by innovation, and it's centered around product innovation. And that helps to set the direction for the interviews. And there's been lots of them so far and lots of lessons. For our time together, these are the ones I wanted to focus on. We'll talk about 3 different kind of innovation areas, customer, process, and differentiation focuses. A little bit on culture and this notion of swimming with the best. My goal for our time together, I really am hoping that you will leave the webinar with at least one tangible, real, concrete thing that you could start doing to be more successful as an innovator, to be more successful with the product innovation. So I'll make some suggestions along the way, and you can be looking for things too. And if you come up with something that you're a good takeaway, please share it in the chat with us and let us know what that is. So let's dive into the customer focus. This is Mike. Mike is the owner-operator at McDonald's. And never in my wildest dreams would I think I would be talking about McDonald's and innovation, but I'll tell you why I am, because this was a unique experience. Mike can't control the tangible product, right? It's a McDonald's store, and so there's not a lot of things you can do. So what do you do instead if you can't control the tangible product? Well, Mike was all about innovating the customer experience and making that unique for the customers. So I spent a fair bit of time on the RV trip in McDonald's as well as Starbucks. They tend to be fairly dependable places for me to find Wi-Fi and go and get some work done at times. And this McDonald's is in Oro Valley, Tucson. And I went in there, I was doing some writing, and this was a good week for me to get up early and go write every morning, and this was my destination. And I noticed the first time I was there how different the counter experience was, right? I walked in the store, and I've been in a store like this to start with. It was just laid out a little bit different. It just felt different. I've been at McDonald's now in over 20 states, which is kind of embarrassing, but I tend to work there more than anything. So, but this store was different. And the thing I noticed most was people coming to the counter, a lot of them were being greeted by name, right? And there was some banter going on, talking about things. And even those that weren't being greeted by name, it wasn't a simply, good morning, may I take your order? You know, it was a much more friendly sort of experience. And it felt more like I was in a Starbucks or a local coffee shop. You know, that this was a more intimate kind of customer experience that was occurring. And I noticed the guy that was setting the tone for this, you know, everyone was doing a reasonable job of carrying it out, but the guy that was setting the tone was indeed Mike. And I talked to him, found out he was the owner-operator, and this was one of my happy encounters. You know, along the way I've been setting up interviews. I've also just had a lot of happy encounters talking with business owners and people involved in product development about what they're really doing. And so I wanted to talk to him about what stood out, this customer experience. And in this case, you know, he really has an aggressive focus on customers. He's wanting to create a unique experience for the customer and not just be like every other McDonald's store that is out there, right, and have it be special. So for him, some takeaways that I got was really knowing who your customers are, you know, and down to even knowing them by name as regulars. But he looks at what is the task or job that they want to accomplish, you know, the customers. So obviously they're coming there, you know, basically for a fast, convenient food experience, right? Something that's reliable. But beyond that, you know, a lot of his customers are looking to for that banter, you know. And if he knows that Joe's coming in and Joe likes to talk about sports, you know, Mike is ready to talk about sports with him. You know, it's kind of more like what I'm used to from a coffee shop experience. And he recognizes that his view of value is not necessarily the same thing as what the customer's view is, and that the customers are responsible for creating that definition of value. You know, what is their perception of value, and really understanding what they're looking for makes a big difference. You know, his regulars are there because they're getting this more interaction, and not just the food. And it comes down to making connections. You know, making real connections with people and building that relationship and, you know, offering something that is kind of unique, you know, certainly different than any other McDonald's I have been in, which is why I wanted to talk with them. So a question for us would be, you know, what's something that you can do, a simple change to the customer experience to create a higher value? He's not, you know, what Mike is doing isn't adding money, right? He's not doing something new that's costing more, but he's just making a new experience and changing it around. So think about that. Good question. That might be a takeaway. And there was another poll I wanted to do here, which was about what is Mike's biggest innovation challenge. And go ahead and respond to this, if you will. Cindy, you want to talk through this, or you want me to?
Yeah, so I've, again, put the poll questions in the chat, and if you would answer in the questions box, the poll is, what is Mike's biggest innovation challenge? 1 is employees, 2 is culture, 3 is McDonald's constraints, and 4 is growth. And
Great, so I'll give you just a moment to think about that, and we'll... Ooh, I love the music.
Okay, let's see. I get a system now, but give me a moment to tally. All right,
Thank you.
They're coming in fast. 3. I guess customer is employees. 3. Culture. And one more minute. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of 33. Okay, so I'm going to give you another one just came in. Okay, of the respondees, 30% said employees, 30% said, wait, let me take that down. 25% said employees, 25% said culture, and 45% said McDonald's constraints. And yes, by the way, you are not seeing the polls on the screen. And if you're on a mobile phone, I'm sorry. I guess the chat isn't showing up. See if you can look around on your functions to open up the chat box.
Great. Thanks, Cindy. Hey, thanks for participating in the poll. If you were able to understand the technology isn't ideal here. But, and on this poll question, and if we do some others, there are no wrong answers, right? These are all kind of factors. But his biggest challenge when it comes to really innovation is, employees are a key thing, culture is a key element, but it really gets down to growth for him, right? Because as he tries to grow his store and grow his operation, the biggest deal is getting his employees, so if you said employees, that's a pretty good fit still, his employees to act like him, right? He's trying to model this connection with customers he's wanting to make. And the biggest issue for him will be when he grows to another store, he can't be in the first store as much as he has been. Will that continue or not? So that it is this issue of employees and culture and growth kind of all coming together. And these are things that as innovators and product owners and kind of this intersection between them, we need to be thinking about. Let's talk about the laundromat. So this was Townsend, Tennessee, which is basically an intersection. It's a really small town, and they have this little laundromat. And I spend a lot of time in laundromats because I do a lot of the laundry for us. And I'm in there, and I see this guy standing by the door in the picture here, and he is opening the door for people as they come in with their arms full of clothes and baskets and helping out and just being really, just very nice, good customer service. And so I talked to him because I'm always curious about, what makes business owners kind of stand out from others. And turns out he is an owner. So I thought maybe he was a manager. Turns out he owns this place. And so I scheduled an interview with him, and we started talking, and found out that he owns this laundromat because this is his hometown. This place was foreclosed upon, and he just hated seeing it sit there empty. And so he bought it. His brother actually manages it, and he's really, he comes out a few weeks each year, and he's really this software mogo from California. Who is really good these days at turning around companies, and that's his forte. He goes into software companies, turns them around, and he's an angel investor. One of his key mentors was Larry Ellison at Oracle. And so this guy's got a lot of cred when it comes to building software companies and now turning around software companies. I thought, wow, what a happy encounter this one is, right? That small business owner turns out to be software mogo too. And as he talked about what he does, so he's keenly aware of product innovation because he's coming into companies wanting to serve customers better and give them what they really want. And he thinks about it more in terms, though, of what do we need to do as an operation to make that happen, right? So really knowing what the job is that we're trying to accomplish. What is it that we're doing with our customers now, and what is it, should we really be doing? What is the job we have? And one of the keys to his success is finding the right people. If he's coming into a turnaround situation, he's going to get an understanding of what's going on there, who the customers are, and really what provides them value, and then start this process of creating and sharing a new vision for what the company should be about, right? And the right people will get lined up with that vision, that powerful, compelling vision. And then when you have the right people in place, he's just letting them run, letting them do their work to be successful. And then it kind of comes down to doing the right things at the right times, right? So the question for us would be, do you know what the problem or objective really is? When we talk about developing products, a lot of times we put this in the context of, do we know what problem our customers have that they're using our product for, right? Why are they hiring the product that we're making is one way that it's often phrased. What is that problem that they have that we're trying to satisfy? And if we get a good handle on their actual problem, we can add a lot of value that might not be available in other products right now. Let's move on to another example. And this one was fun because it was a RV. It was a motorhome example. So Tiffin Motorhomes is in Red Bay, Alabama, a little town, and they're a huge employer. They are the largest independent motorhome manufacturer in existence. So family-owned operation. On any given day, depending on the economy, they'll be turning out between 4 and 10 motorhomes off of their line. And went through and did a factory tour of them. This is Bob Tiffin in the picture here. I think he's 73 years old. Started this company in 1972, building motorhomes. And it was great to see how they do this, right? It's what their process is. But a big part of motorhomes, when you look at these pictures, a lot of motorhomes basically look the same. And all the top tier brands like Tiffany like Tiffin or Winnebago or others, there's not a lot of differences between the Winnebagos and Tiffin and others. They're all kind of similar motorhomes. And so Bob was great. He gave me an hour of his time, which was a big deal for him because he is so focused on his customers. He makes most of his time available to be talking with customers. And as we talked, his emphasis was on knowing what customers really want. So, staying up with what customers are doing and how they're using the RV is important. But he stressed over and over this notion of having something that competitors don't, doing something different that makes you stand out. And for Tiffin, that is all about the customer service experience. It's the after the sale, what takes place for taking care of your motorhome. And they're unique in the industry. They're widely known among their customers as fixing anything, anytime, right? So their warranty period, I forget, it might be like 3 years. But if something breaks with your motorhome and Tiffin says, that should not have happened, which is what they typically do, they will still fix it at their cost. And so they're kind of unique in the industry that they just go well above warranty work, well past the expectations of what they should be doing. And then he also talked a lot about staying ahead of trends and seeing what is coming next and being really agile and flexible to adopt that. They gave me some examples of how they were able to turn their manufacturing line, like in 3-4 months to put in a completely new capability when customers wanted something, right? And watching those trends is real important. So we might then think about, when we're creating a product, what is it our customers are going to be thinking about that product? What stands out in their mind? Is this just like every other product out there on the marketplace they could choose from? Or is there something unique about this? And in Tiffin's case, they're unique because they stand behind their product exceptionally well. They're going to fix it for you. And had a poll question, wanted to address about that too, about what is Tiffin's challenge kind of going forward? What's their big innovation challenge related to?
Hey, so I've sent it out over chat, and the answers are coming in already, but let me read the poll. What is Tiffin's biggest business challenge? 1, employees. 2, customer support and service. 3, buying trends. Or 4, cost of materials. And the answers are coming in. The scrolls
Right,
pretty quickly.
And like the others, there's not a wrong choice here, right? Some of these are related, but there is an issue that they're kind of behind that they have to get their hands around, or it really may spell tremendous challenges for the company.
Okay.
And the survey says.
So I guess we fixed a kink here because we got almost double the responses. So 0 responses for 1 employees being the biggest challenge, but a pretty even mix between 2 customer support and service, 3 buying trends, and 4 cost of materials.
Oh, very good. Excellent. All big issues. Buying trends was huge during the recession for this industry, right? The industry took a 90% haircut. Just sales fell off 90%. It's coming back pretty well now in the last year or so. But think about what they're doing. They're putting all their emphasis on service, right? And they have this wonderful reputation. We will fix anything that breaks. That's creating a big burden for them moving forward. And frankly, I'm concerned they got enough hints of this at the plant and then talking with a lot of Tiffin owners later that they might be slacking on quality because the employees know we'll fix anything, right? So what they put off on the line might not be as high of a quality as it needs to be because they really have such a focus, and where they're innovating is around their service centers, right? That's where they're putting a lot of energy. So it's interesting that their strength is having a pretty significant ripple impact to their operation. So thank you again for participating in the poll if you were able to. Let's move on to another topic. And I think we have a reminder slide in here. Cindy, do you want to address this?
Yeah, so people who are answering the questions, participating in the polls, and we during the Q&A, active participants will get entered into a raffle for these great prizes. One is the physical textbook of 300 pages, Guide to the Product Management and Marketing Body of Knowledge. It's available on Amazon for pay. And the other is 3, which is quite generous, 3 online preparation courses for the AIPMM Certified Innovation Leader. It is an intensive. I've taken the course. It is quite thorough and detailed into all of the aspects required for a strategic innovation leader. It's valued at $845, and it prepares you to take the AIPMM certification test. However, there's an additional fee for the test, and Chad will make available to everyone participating today the product innovation ebook, which I'm very excited about.
Great. Thank you, Sydney. So continue to participate through the rest of the presentation. We'll tell you about the details on getting those at the end here. So as I've talked to so many people involved in product innovation, and as those examples show, there's this pretty heavy culture subtext that is going on. And culture is really driving so much of the success or the failure when it comes to companies trying to be more innovative. And, we probably have a good handle about what culture addresses, what's honored, avoided, not tolerated in organizations. And there's several studies to point to. This Global 1000 report made it real clear that company culture, corporate culture, is the number one influencer when it comes to product innovation and how successful companies are with that. And so we have a pretty clear understanding that culture matters, and that Tiffin example their culture of knowing that their products will be fixed no matter what might be impacting kind of what's going on the line every day, right? So culture makes a difference. And I thought it was interesting. We were talking about this one night over dinner. So how culture can really be seen through the eyes just by observing, in this case, through the eyes of my kids who are 8 and 11. And we had toured the Tiffin motorhome plant and also toured Winnebago, and remember that's what I'm driving at, a Winnebago. And we were just talking about the differences between what we saw in those experiences with the companies. And I won't dive into all of this in detail, but just pull out a few between what the kids expressed between Tiffin and Winnebago. And I added, maybe formed some of these words for them, but they were talking about these concepts, right? That at Tiffin, it was really transparent. We could walk anywhere we wanted to. We could get right up next to workers. We could ask them questions, and we could take all the pictures we want. At Winnebago, it was very different. There were security people stationed around places. We were largely in a bus taking the tour. When we did walk through the plant, it was at a distance. We weren't getting close to employees to see what was going on, and there was no pictures that could be taken. The Tiffin experience was just very personal. People were engaged with us and talking. They kind of welcomed us into their family to see what they do there. And at Winnebago, it's clearly an assembly line. Right? They're turning out widgets and have an assembly line process that looks very much like what you would expect on an automotive assembly line, just a larger scale. Tiffin, at the same time, we kind of wondered if what they were doing was truly repeatable. If Sue, who's doing such a great job on the upholstery today, is out sick tomorrow, with the same quality job get done or not. We just weren't quite sure. We're at Winnebago, because it's an assembly line process and they're turning the crank, it really felt like a pretty solid process, that they have the good handle on this. And so what does all that mean when it comes to looking at innovation, right? So when we look at the business strategy of Tiffin, I already talked about this in the example, they're about their extraordinary customer service. After the sale, how are they supporting the customer? Winnebago is really about building a quality product. They want to minimize the quality errors because they are trying to minimize their warranty costs, right? That makes sense. Automotive manufacturers doing the same thing. The culture, to kind of put it in a nutshell at Tiffin, we really felt like, it's a family. That's how they talked. When we got and the people that were there to welcome us on the tour, they talked about being part of the Tiffin family. And when you buy a Tiffin, you are welcomed into the Tiffin family, right? Winnebago, the culture is really all about consistency, that repeatable process. So for innovation, Tiffin is focused on their service centers. They have one big service center now that had trouble getting the quality of service that they want through RV dealers. So they do most of their service through a large service center there in Red Bay, Alabama. And where they're innovating is around that. They're going to build 2 new service centers in the country to make it easier to get to. And they put their energy into making that service center run better and more efficient. Whereas Winnebago, their innovation is around the manufacturing process. And they showed us examples of how they've upgraded the line over time. And see, they've put in new machinery in one area. They're still using one of the older machines until they can justify purchasing a new one for that too, right? But their innovations are going forward and making that process work better. So there really is this strong tendency between culture and how that influences how employees are thinking about innovation, what the job really is, and what we're developing. And a key topic to talk about more for sure, and reflect on what is innovation, the culture where you are. Let's move on to another lesson, and I call this one Swim with the Best. And this was another, thankfully ended up being a happy encounter. I had some crown work I needed to get done. So out on the RV trip, and knew I had a tooth that was starting to fail and needed a crown, and so I got a recommendation from a friend on a dentist, and this was in actually not too far from my home. The timing worked out. We were coming back through Colorado, and this was in Colorado Springs, Dr. Andrew Hall. And everything was just kind of different about this experience. Went in, super friendly receptionist to welcome me in, and tell me about the place. Kind of set out different. And then I had personally this incredible experience where the dentist, which is in the picture in the lower right there, Dr. Andrew Hall, to do the crowns, it was all one sitting. I came in, they used a 3D imaging camera for figuring out what shape of crown I needed on the tooth, and it builds a virtual model, and then they have this little lab where they have milling equipment that automatically mills the crown for you, and they're creating a crown of as good quality as anything you can get done by any other process. This thing will hold up the same as any other crown. And I've had crowns before. This one fit, right? The first time in, it just fit well. I was amazed with this imaging process. And the dentist just seemed to be different. So I wanted to talk to him and find out, how he thinks about his practice and his business and how innovation enters into the picture. And so set up time to talk over lunch one day, and he thinks about what kind of experience that he want to create for his employees in this practice, and then for the customers. And what really sets him apart from a lot of other dentists is he has been in this unique position of being really with elite practitioners. And this came about because he saw this cool technology, which was this 3D imaging system and the ability to mill crowns and implants and other things, right there in the office. And he got involved with that. He decided he would jump into that. And when you do that, you go to a special school, right, that teaches you how to use this equipment, and you get good at it. Well, in the process, he got really good at it. He became a trainer for the school, and now he teaches other dentists how to do this too. But more importantly, he started building this kind of mastermind group, right, between the other practitioners that are doing the same thing, that are involved in this school, that are teaching people how to use this. And so there are other elite dentists, and he uses that. They all use it together to share complicated cases with each other, try to help each other figure things out. And it works because even though they're all dentists, they're not competing because they're in different geographies, right? They're not pulling from the same customer base. And I thought, what a really great lesson in that this works across anything we're trying to do as product innovators or any other aspect of our lives. Are we involved with other people that are really trying to excel and be the best, right? Are we swimming with the best? And he's always looking for ways to sharpen his skills and also to help sharpen those of others. And really not just learning the trade, but mastering it, And there's some competitive pressure, I think, when you have that mastermind group and everyone's trying to get better and really mastering what it is that you're about. So that's a good takeaway for us. So had a question about what you're doing to swim with the best. Cindy?
Great. And so the poll question is, how do you swim with the best? Your answers are 1, LinkedIn groups, 2, professional association and memberships, 3, colleagues, 4, a mastermind type group, or 5, meetup group. And I assume, Chad, that there can be multiple answers.
Yeah, absolutely. You might be doing one or more or all of these things. If you're doing something else, type it in so we can see that. Cindy can tell us.
Sure, and I totally support a lot of these.
Cindy has a tough job today because this is not easy to try to tabulate this as it's flying by on the chat screen.
Right.
And,
all of the above. I got to add in all of the above. So that would be 6.
Very good. Very good.
5. 1, 3. 3. 1, 2. Dash and do. Okay.
Survey's in?
Wait. More coming in. Okay. Now I have to do the tally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So I'm not going to give you percentages. I will rank them in order of popularity. So the most responses were for professional associations and memberships, which is a really good answer given that this webinar is sponsored by the AIPMM. They'll be very pleased about that. The second in popularity is LinkedIn groups. Which, by the way, you're limited to joining only 50, which I am in 50 LinkedIn groups. Next up is colleagues. Matching that is meetup groups, of which I'm a huge advocate of as well. And then lower on the list is mastermind type group. So you might want to explain more what that is. And all of the above is was less. I would presume that we made that option available late in the game. So.
Yep. There's a lot of there to be involved in if you're involved in all the above. So a mastermind group, I haven't been involved in an official mastermind group because there is a thing called a mastermind group, but that's why I said mastermind type groups. I have one that I like to think of as my mastermind group. When I'm home, and we've done a few Skype sessions, every Friday morning I have breakfast with a couple other guys, and we're going to expand that probably to maybe include 1 or 2 other people, perhaps, and if they're on the phone, they may not even know about this yet. But a couple other guys that are, one guy is just a brilliant hands-on innovator, computer engineer, software guru. He is building the circuit boards and writing the software and designing way cool stuff. And then the other gentleman has a similar kind of practitioner focus as an engineer that I have had, and then also a teacher these days, and deep strengths in the area of leadership and what's going on with leadership and this cross-connection with innovation too. And I just get so much out of that interaction, right? Just talking about what they're seeing and what's going on. So it's kind of like colleagues, right? This is just a little bit more purposeful, and it's fun. It's breakfast time to talk about what's going on. But the point is, think about what it is to, how are you staying up on top of things? The Stephen Covey habit, right? Sharpening the saw. And what are you doing? And I like this phrase, swim with the best. There's something that happens when we're just around other really good people that are trying to learn more and get better. You get swept up in that and you learn more too, and you contribute back to them, and everyone gets better together. So thank you very much for, again, participating in that poll. Let's talk about this product innovation ebook real quick. So the lessons I just kind of went through, these are just some of the themes that I've seen across interviews, and I highlighted a few specific instances. And there's things that I'm still kind of chewing on to figure out how to apply that in kind of a structured way. This product innovation ebook that everyone's going to get, this is really kind of full of just best practices and step-by-step approaches. It's organized by the model I shared earlier, right? Things that we kind of think about in the managed front end, new product development process, and then the product life cycle. It is in the moment under editorial review still, so it's not quite out. So what you will be getting is as soon as it's available, I will send you the email and tell you how to get that at no cost to you. This is something that's going to be a product to purchase on Amazon in the future. So you're getting it at no cost because you're part of the webinar. To do so, you do need to tell me you want it, which is at theeverydayinnovator.com/win, because this will tell you how to create market-winning products. So everydayinnovator.com/win to get that innovation ebook as soon as it's available. And that brings us to the end of the main things I wanted to address before I turn back over to Cindy here for Q&A. Just if you want to connect with me, the information is there on the screen. Email works great, chad@theeverydayinnovator.com. I'm on LinkedIn, of course. My business website where I do the product training is Product Innovation Educators. And if you're interested in deeper training, glad to connect with you there. The blog I've already mentioned. And as a reminder to get registered to get that free ebook sent to you when it's available, make sure you go to everydayinnovator.com/win. So there you have it.
Awesome. So now is the opportunity for your specific questions, which you're welcome to enter in to the question box. And thanks for your positive comments. We're getting a lot of great accolades coming in. So here is a question from Matt. Did the people you meet with consider what they did as innovative, or did they just consider it to be good business? Great question.
Oh, great question, Ash. So, like the dentist was a good example, because he doesn't think about what he's doing as in the context of innovation at all, right? Even though a lot of things he's doing is very innovative, he's just trying to do good business. And one of the things I'm trying to get my hands around, frankly, as I'm talking with people, I've wanted to explore this intersection more between, business owners and entrepreneurs and innovation, right? The entrepreneurs and innovation always go together. Entrepreneurs are doing something new that hasn't existed before, right? And there's that aspect of innovation with that. And so a lot of it is thinking about just good business practices. When Bob Tiffin talks about, our innovation is about our customer service and what we do. He talks about it in an innovation context, but it's the business strategy, for that company. And then on the other hand, I've talked with people that their role is product innovation, right? I talked with the chief innovation officer of a $10 billion global company, and that's what he does every day. He comes in and tries to get the groups in the company to learn more about product innovation and to use innovation processes. So there's kind of a big range there, but I think when we're talking to the business owners and maybe the small business kind of environment, they're thinking about best practices for the business. And when you talk to them about product innovation, that really fits what they're thinking about, but they would express it in those terms.
Thank you. So Saket, I apologize for mispronouncing your name, would like to know, how do you prioritize or choose amongst various competing ideas? Yeah,
so, I'm sorry, Cindy, what was that?
So how do you prioritize or choose amongst various competing ideas for innovation?
Yep, very good. So this is a common problem. And let's just take it back to something as simple as, how do we choose between projects, right? So medium-sized company, I have yet to run into a company that doesn't feel like they're doing too many projects, right? So medium-sized company might have 100 projects going on at some time. Some of those projects are new product development, right? Maybe they're add-ons to existing products, iterations, maybe they're brand new things. A lot of them are just fixing stuff that is broken around the company, right, that need to be addressed. And if we were able to be more strategic and look at, instead of those 100 projects, what are the 10 that give us the best return on our money right now, that are really aligned with where our company is going, that are not just urgent but important to us? And we focused most of our resources on those 10. How much more value does that create? Because maybe instead of getting those 100 projects done in the next 2 years, we can now get the 10 most valuable ones done, in the next few months, and benefiting from the value that they create. When it comes specifically to selecting products, for product innovation, the same general philosophy applies, which is what is important to the company, strategically, where we want to go. And it's tough to say, though, right? We're making decisions about what we're not going to do, but we're doing so because we've there's projects we need to identify as really high value. And this comes down to really the executive team having a clear understanding of what their strategy is, what their advantage is as a group, and where they're headed in the future, what the vision for the company is. And we get, when that isn't aligned well, and frankly, a lot of times it isn't aligned well, then you don't have a structure for making those decisions. And you need that first, to have a structure for making decisions that says, is this a project that's strategically important to this organization or not? And maybe the answer is, yeah, it's a 9 out of a 10. But guess what? We have 5 other projects over here that are 10 out of 10. They deserve our attention first.
Excellent. So comment that culture eats strategy for breakfast. It's a great quote. I don't remember who said that, but to Romulo's point that it's all about the people you have and the culture you execute when it comes to innovating.
It's so important. At one point, that one place that shows up is there was a now I'm drawing the blank on the publication. Will come to me in Fast Company. That was a couple of years ago. Fast Company had an article with that title, and I think Peter Drucker has said the same thing before. And it's the bottom. The real answer is both are important, right? This isn't an either or; it's an and. But my money is on culture all the time too, and I'll tell you, practical experience where I've seen this is companies make bad strategy decisions at time, right? None of us get it right all the time, and we will pick a wrong strategy. If the culture that is flexible and agile and able to get everyone moving in a different direction and excited about the right vision, you're going to beat the company that can't do that. And when it comes to making bad strategy decisions, the company with the powerful culture is going to be the one that wins.
Excellent. So there's a couple more questions, but we're coming to the end of the hour, and I think we should go into the raffle.
Oh, excellent.
So there are 4 things to pick out of the hat. So I'm waiting for the drum roll. Oh. And the first drawing is for the Prod Bach. And the winner is, gotta read this. Francine Lane. Francine Lane has won the Prod Bach. And the next drawing is for the Certified Innovation Leader e-course. And the winner is Trish Ness. And the next drawing is for another Certified Innovation Leader e-course. And the winner is Claus Borho. There needs to be applause after each of these, but that's okay. There is silent applause. And the last raffle for the online Certified Innovation Leader e-course is Vinky Lumba. Congratulations, winners. And
yay, congratulations to everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for participating. And we, frankly, have never given away those e-courses before. And I look forward to you being able to benefit from going through those.
Oh, wow. And there were lots of great participation. And virtual clapping and applauding. So thanks for excellent interactions today, Chad. You certainly this was innovative in getting some great participation and lots of great accolades and appreciation of your presentation.
Very good. So glad I could be with you, Cindy, and helping do the webinar for AIPMM.
Awesome. I think we have a few slides of coming up events. Here we go. So there are Certified Product Manager certification prep courses coming up in March, and they are in Virginia on the East Coast. And by the way, I'm going to Florida. I'll be at Product Camp South Florida tomorrow, Saturday. If you know anyone in the area, it is free. I'm going representing the AIPMM. So very excited to be there. So for our colleagues on the East Coast, these courses are coming up. The CPMM is a Certified Product Marketing Manager. The ACPM is the Agile Certified Product Manager. All excellent courses, very intense, and you walk away with a thorough foundation to advance your career. I think there's another slide. Okay, so there's a few webinars coming up on this Friday webinar series. March 14th, Innovate for Growth and Price for Profits. It's about value pricing. March 28th, Improve Product Design through Gamification. I think that'll also be about some innovation. You can check out the AIPMM webinar series and be sure to register ahead on AIPMM.com. Join me on Wednesdays for the Global Product Management Talk. Coming up next week, I'm talking with Karen Song, who's the CEO of a new startup called Stylematic. It's a fashion app. Very exciting. And stay informed. Go to the AIPMM website, subscribe for announcements. If you want to be a speaker, there's a URL to fill out a form so you can join the webinar as a presenter. And I will be announcing some webinars that I'll be doing Fridays with Cindy talking about software tools and other things to forward your product management professionalism and implement all kinds of things that you need to do. So thank you so much, Chad, and thank you to the participants. And the slides will be available on the AIPMM website. And I hope to make the recording available on the Global Product Management Talk as well.
Great. Thank you, Cindy. Thanks, everyone.
Okay. Have a great weekend. Hope to see people in Florida as well.
I took a breathing this morning. It hurts, but still at least there's pain. My feet were flying off the pavement. I turned down Fillmore Street again.